We need a fangirl debrief. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It has been such a good time to be a fangirl lately. So many things have come out. Tortured Poets Department, Bridgerton, Funny Story. Every week I feel like there's something new. So while I get ready today, I thought we could chat about all the things that have come out recently. I feel like we should start off with Tortured Poets Department because duh. I obviously love it, of course. I mean, please. It's actually funny because when it came out, I was in Puerto Rico for my cousin's wedding and I just put on the first couple songs while I was getting ready and really wasn't into it. I even texted my friends and I was like, why is this not giving right now? And then I really didn't get a chance to listen to any more of it while I was there. And then on the plane ride home, it was like a 5 a.m. flight. I put my headphones in, shut my eyes and listened to the whole thing and I was obsessed. I was like, this is so good. I don't know what was wrong with me when I first listened, but now I'm obsessed. I honestly feel like none of the songs are bad. Like there are very few songs on the album, like including the anthology, that I would skip or that I don't love as much. I'm a sad girl, so obviously I love like So Long London and Lost of My Life, and of course like Guilty as Sin, Who's Afraid of Little Old Me, But Daddy I Love Him, like all good. They're literally all good. It's actually insane. Some of my more underrated favorites, I love The Black Dog. Oh my god, something about that song just does it for me. I love how loud it is. So good. I love Clara Bow. I love How Did It End. Oh my god. I Look in People's Windows. Bye. But literally all of them, like so high school, so fun. I'm Gonna Get You Back. I Can Do It With a Broken Heart. Fresh Out the Slammer. Like they're literally all good. It's actually insane. I have such FOMO because I am lucky enough that I did see the Eras tour, so like I really shouldn't complain. But I'm so sad that I didn't get to see the Tortured Poets set from the Eras tour because it looks so good. I wish tickets weren't literally $3,000 because one of her Indianapolis shows is actually on my birthday and I would literally fly states away just to see the Tortured Poets set. I also think this album is really interesting because there aren't really any like singles. There aren't really like any songs I feel like that I hear on the radio except maybe Fortnite. Like it's not super commercial and it's also very adult. I feel like her younger fans really couldn't relate to this album at all, which isn't a bad thing. Like obviously she's what, like 31 or 32. She doesn't have to be writing for like teenagers, but it's just interesting because I feel like a lot of her other albums have that, I guess, except like Folklore and Evermore, not so much. And I just thought that was a really interesting choice for her. I also feel like the people who describe it as Folklore and Midnight's Had a Baby is spot on, which is probably why I like it so much because I love Folklore and I really like Midnight's. I feel like Midnight's Had to Grow on Me, but now I really like it. And I feel like some of the songs even have like an Evermore vibe, like Fresh Out the Slammer and I Can Fix Him, No Really I Can. I would love to see her do like a country album, but you know how recently I feel like there's been a trend in country music where it's sort of like indie country, like Zach Bryan, Casey Musgraves, Orville Peck, like that vibe. I would love to see her do something like that and have it sound sort of like Fresh Out the Slammer and I Can Fix Him. She would slay. That would be so good. Or even like vault songs on debut. That could be really fun. I feel like she needs to re-enter her country era. Maybe it's because I'm kind of going through a country era, but I want her to return to hers. Okay, let's talk about Bridgerton next because I feel like that is very fresh in my mind. Let me start by saying I am obsessed with Bridgerton. It's honestly one of my favorite shows, specifically season 2. I have literally watched season 2 probably 5 times and I was honestly nervous for the season because I love Penn, but I low-key hate Colin. Like he's so annoying in the first 2 seasons that I just didn't know if he was going to be able to redeem himself, but he is better. I still don't think he's perfect. I don't love that they gave him like that player storyline. I understand why they did. You know, he's supposed to not be himself, but I just really wasn't a huge fan. And the fact that he did not grovel at all is actually insane. I wanted him on his knees crying, begging for forgiveness, snot dripping out of his nose, and the fact that she literally forgave him immediately is crazy. I also felt kind of the same way about Penn not being able to like flirt with anybody. I get it, but it just felt like it came out of nowhere. Like I get that she's a wallflower and she hasn't really done this before, but she's always been very well spoken, so for her to just randomly become like this bumbling awkward person was a little bit weird to me. And I also felt like we didn't see a lot of them. I feel like there's so many characters now and side plots that we just didn't see enough of Penelope and Colin. Oh, I forgot to say, as I'm filming this, only part 1 is out. Maybe I'll do another one of these when part 2 comes out, or I'll talk about it in a vlog or something, but only part 1 is out, so I'm only talking about the first 4 episodes. But yeah, I didn't feel like we saw enough of Penelope and Colin, and I'm hoping that changes in part 2. I hope part 2 is like really focused on them, but they did win me over. Like I do think they're cute and they had some really good scenes. I thought the hot air balloon scene was absolutely ridiculous, but I like the, what's his name, Lord Debling, like the Lord Debling like jealousy thing. That was fun. The carriage scene, absolutely sickening when he's only using his other fingers. If you know, you know. That was improvised. Luke Newton, you'll be hearing from my lawyers. You are literally sick in the head. That is crazy. I was like, am I hallucinating? There's no way he just did that. I like Francesca's side storyline, and I like that Violet is kind of getting her own little love interest too. I've also seen so much discourse on the Mondrich storyline, which I've always kind of liked them, so it doesn't really bother me. I get the criticism that they're focusing like too much on them, or just like there is so much of them in this season, but I think it's kind of interesting, and I like the point of view of someone in the lower class becoming part of society. And I also feel like if they're focusing so much on it, there's a reason. I saw a theory that I really like, that the reason that they're focusing so much on the Mondrich storyline and the sisters becoming pregnant is that Penelope is going to become pregnant, and then she's going to be the one that has a boy. Like, her sisters are going to have girls and she's going to have a boy, and he's going to be the heir to the house. Oh, I love that storyline. It's so good, and like she would get karma over her family, and it's like so scandalous. I love. I'm also really interested to see how him finding out that she's Lady Whistledown is going to go down, because I've heard in the book he already knows when he like has the carriage scene and proposes to her, so that'll be interesting how all that plays out. Also, oh my god, Cressida and Eloise just kiss already. Seriously, like what are you waiting for? I said season 1, I was like, statistically speaking, there is no way all 8 or 9 of whatever, however many there are of these siblings is straight. Like, mathematically it just doesn't work. One of them has to be gay. Like, I don't understand. Buy something. First season my money was on Benedict. Now I feel like it could be Benedict or Eloise, or it could be Cressida and they could do like a side character instead of like a main character, but it's brewing. I can feel it. It's definitely no season 2 for me at least, but I am still really enjoying it, and I am really excited to see the second part. One last thing. Okay, Kate is literally so stunning. Every scene she was in this season, which is only like 3 scenes, she looked so good. I mean, same with him, of course. Do you guys call him Anthony or Anthony? Because I always called him Anthony, and then one day I saw it spelled out and I was like, his name is Anthony? Like, you're telling me this guy's name is Tony? You got Tony? I was like, I can't do it. So I always call him Anthony, but I also feel like that kind of makes me sound silly. But Anthony, of course, amazing. Looks so good. I do wish we got a few more scenes with them, but like, I get it, you know, you have to move on. But again, I'm hoping they come back either the second part of this season or in later seasons, like we continue to see them a lot. Another big event that has happened recently is the release of Funny Story by Emily Henry. Emily Henry release day for me is a national holiday. I take it very seriously. I look forward to it every year. To be honest though, guys, I kind of have mixed feelings on Funny Story. I said this on Goodreads. Emily Henry could literally write the dictionary and I would enjoy it. But Funny Story wasn't my favorite. I really liked Daphne and Miles. Specifically Miles, I liked his vibe. I feel like he's very different than her other male love interest. And I love that she's continuing to do what she did with Book Lovers, where she like shows the other side of a trope. Like in Book Lovers, how she always gets dumped when her boyfriend goes to a small town and falls in love with a small town girl, and she's like the city girl that always gets dumped. I loved that she did that, and I love how in Funny Story she does that with childhood friends to lovers. Like, what happens to the love interest when childhood best friends realize they're in love with each other? I love that she does that. I think it's so creative. Even though I did like it, I think I have 2 main like problems with it and why I didn't like it as much. One is I think it was just more surface level than a lot of her other books. I just didn't feel like their storylines went as deep as some of her other books. They definitely have them, like there's conflict and character development, but I also felt like, this is my second problem, I didn't love the like family drama aspects that were going on, especially his sister coming to stay with them and her dad showing up. It just felt like too much, and it felt kind of out of place. People saying they aren't attracted to Miles though, literally could never be me. I love him. He's like, if Nick Miller was less grumpy and a stoner. If you don't think that's an amazing love interest, we are not the same. I also felt like up until now, all of her books are very different. I feel like they all really stand out from each other. You know, there's obviously similarities between them, but they really stand on their own. And this is the first one where I felt like, oh, I'm reading like another Emily Henry book. It's very similar to one I've already read, if that makes sense. Like specifically Beach Read, I felt like this one was very similar sort of plot-wise to Beach Read. It's set in a similar town, and they kind of do the same thing where they go out and they go on different dates, and I mean, not dates, but they go out and do different things. And I just felt like I was reading a reincarnation of Beach Read in a way, which I was really sad about, because I like that all of her books feel very different. I was sad that this one didn't really give me that feeling. Another thing I've noticed between her older books and some of her newer books is I feel like her older books are a lot more intimate. Like, they're very secluded for the most part. It's just the couple that you're seeing. Like Beach Read is like mostly just them. Same with People We Meet on Vacation. There's always side characters, of course, but you're focused mainly on the couple, where I feel like Happy Place and Funny Story, they're a lot bigger. They have more characters and more characters that are in it a lot more. And I don't think I like that as much. I think I prefer when her books focus just on the couple for the most part, because I think that's something in general I like in a romance. I like when there's sort of like an isolation going on with the couple. But with all that being said, I still did really enjoy it. I just don't think it would be at the top of my Emily Henry ranking. Another hyperfixation I've had recently that I have to talk about is the movie Challengers. Oh my god, I am obsessed with that movie. I saw it twice in 1 week in theaters. I was really excited because I love Luca Guadagnino, because I am a Call Me By Your Name fanatic. I literally love that movie so much, and the book, but the movie just, I went through a very heavy Call Me By Your Name phase. I literally have a tattoo for it, which I know some people are gonna be haters about, but I love Call Me By Your Name, so I was really excited for this when I saw the trailer, and I obviously like love Zendaya. It was so good. Like, where do I even begin? The scene where they're in the hotel room, I have never seen a more powerful woman in my life. I hope to one day wield as much power as she did in that scene. The epitome of a girl boss. Literally obsessed. I was also so locked in. Action movies wish that they had people on the edge of their seat like this. I never felt bored. The score, the tension, it was just everything. Also, y'all want to talk about Bi Panic? I literally have a crush on everyone in that movie. Insane. I didn't know who Mike Feist or Josh O'Connor were before this. You better believe I'm keeping up with them now. And can I just say thank God for a true love triangle? If any of you have other true love triangle recommendations, I am begging you to comment them, because it is so much more satisfying than a normal love triangle where it's not really a triangle, it's just like a straight line. The score, did I talk about the score already? Amazing. It fit so well. Also, I love the details in the clothes, how they swap clothes, and I felt like, okay, I did not see Bones at all. It's on my list. I know I need to watch it. Like, from what I've seen, just clips and TikTok edits and stuff, it has a very different look and feel, again, like just from what I've seen, I haven't watched the movie, than Call Me By Your Name, where I feel like this felt like Call Me By Your Name in a way. Obviously they're like completely different storyline wise and everything, but it felt like it was the same director as Call Me By Your Name, if that makes sense. Like, I love the scene at the party where she's dancing, and it's just like the scene in Call Me By Your Name where Timmy's dancing, and I just love him as a director. Like, I can't wait to see more of what he does, and I just am obsessed, like truly. Another movie I saw recently that I feel like has to be discussed is The Idea of You. If you didn't know, I am like the biggest directioner ever. I have been a directioner since literally 2011 or something. Like, I am obsessed with them. I started posting on social media because I had a One Direction fan account. Like, I have been here. I have been in the trenches since the beginning. So obviously when I see Anne Hathaway and Nicholas Galitzine are gonna be in a movie adaptation of a Harry Styles fanfiction, I was interested. I love Anne Hathaway. I've always loved her, and I went through a Nicholas Galitzine phase last year when Red, White, and Royal Blue came out, and I watched like all his movies. So obviously I was intrigued, and I will be honest, like, I didn't think the movie was that great overall. I thought it was kind of boring. I wasn't like obsessed with their chemistry, and I honestly wasn't obsessed with him as like Harry Styles. I know they're trying to say that he's not supposed to be Harry Styles, and I'm sorry, that is a big fat lie. He literally has a PhD in Harry Styles. They can say it's not inspired by it all they want. I'm not buying it. I was screaming. Like, the tattoos, the fact that he just has a ladder tattoo, so funny. Like, the outfits, the tank tops, even like when they're on stage at Coachella, like One Direction, there's a moment where two of them are sitting down, and like the one guy puts his arm around the other guy, and just the way they are, it is like, I feel like I know what clip they're referencing from One Direction. Like, I feel like I have literally seen it before. I will say, like, once they get farther into the movie and like they show the other band members' personalities, it wasn't giving One Direction as much, but in the beginning I was like, you're actually kidding, like this is insane. Also, the fact that there's like an exact scene from Harry doing the Graham Norton show, like, come on. It actually makes me mad that they are trying to say it's not him, because it's like, okay, if you didn't want people to think it was Harry and you wanted to separate yourself, why did you copy him so exactly? Like, I can't. The voice, oh my god. It's weird though, because he was kind of giving me the ick, like, if I'm being honest. I don't know why. I was like, oh, I love Harry obviously, and I love him as an actor, so like, I'm gonna eat this up. But it was kind of giving me the ick. I don't know why. I just like couldn't get there. Maybe because I was so just like hyper aware of he's trying to be Harry. I don't know. Also, can Anne Hathaway age a day? Like, how is she so hot? I don't get it. Like, it's not right. This is a complete side note, has nothing to do with anything, but I hate when I'm watching a makeup video. I feel like people on TikTok do this a lot, and they set their makeup and they keep talking. You can just see the setting spray going into their mouth. Oh, it makes me cringe. Or when they don't wipe off their foundation from their lips, especially when they're like putting their lip on, like they're putting their lip liner over the crusty foundation lips. I can't do it. Oh, I forgot my eyeliner. I am curious though, like honestly I probably won't read the book, but I'm curious to see if the book is also very obviously One Direction and Harry Styles. I would be curious. I honestly, even though I was such a One Direction fan and I read a lot of fan fiction, I never read like Harry Styles fan fiction like that. If we're being honest, I was reading fan fiction about him and another band member. Don't be a hater, but it's the truth. I have to be the real me. So I missed out on that phase. Like I never read that. I never read After or like Stall and Duplicity and all them. Like I just totally missed out on that. So I don't know. I kind of want to like try and read them, but I'm scared. I also saw the funniest TikTok where the girl was talking about Nicholas Galitzine. I'm probably saying that wrong, by the way. Wait, my brain is firing on like all cylinders. Red, White, and Royal Blue sequel. I'm intrigued. I'm very intrigued. I love that book. It's one of my favorites. And I really didn't think they were gonna do a sequel, so I'm pleasantly surprised. Like I'm into it. And there is that like bonus chapter, I think, or bonus like epilogue. I forget what it's called. It came out in the special edition version of the book, I think, which I don't have, but I did read it. I found it like on Tumblr. And it kind of shows their relationship after Red, White, and Royal Blue. And I enjoyed that, and I definitely think there's enough room to like build off that. So that's really exciting. But I saw the funniest TikTok where the girl was saying that he is typecast as man. Like any type of man that you need, he can do it. Like Prince Charming, conservative army man, gay prince, Harry Styles, himbo, jock. He has so much range and also no range at all. And I thought that was so funny and accurate. Also, speaking of Harry Styles, I need HS4. Like, I'm so glad that he got a break and he's been gone for a while. I need the album. Give it to me. I know you have it and I want it. I say this every time he releases an album. I need a rock album. I need it bad. Which, if we're being real, I feel like he won't do, but in my dreams, it has like a Medicine vibe to it. Like, I need him to go full rock star era. Like Medicine and Kiwi. That's the vibe I need. I think that was all I wanted to talk about in this video. I'm sure I'm like missing something. I'm excited for the next few weeks too, because I feel like a lot of stuff is also happening then. There's so many like book releases and Bridgerton Part 2, and just like people are going on tour and releasing music. I feel like it's a very exciting time to be a fangirl. Please comment and let me know what you guys thought about this stuff, because there's nothing I love more than a little pop culture talk with the girls. Like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff if you want. If you want to find me anywhere else, I'll have all my other social medias down below. And thank you so much for watching.